It is Friday, August 27th at the time of filming this video, and that means that No More Heroes 3 has dropped officially on retail shelves today, and you can go get it. And we have to talk about what people are saying on Metacritic and different review scores, and then we also have to talk about the major hype trailer that Nintendo just delivered for Metroid Dread, and why if this game is not on your radar, it needs to be. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. As I mentioned, guys, we're talking about a couple different things today, the first of which is No More Heroes 3 and its official release, as this is now something that you can hop into the eShop and download, or you can go to your local store and pick it up, as on Friday, August 27th, that is the release day for this game. We are also seeing all of the reviews drop online, both in video form and in text form, and there's a lot of conflicting opinions around this game, and that's kind of where I want to start off today. There's a lot of people who enjoy the combat and think that that makes this game worth the full $60 release, because keep in mind this is a full price title. And then there's a lot of other people who have been very vocal about this game having pacing issues, and outside of the combat and the big boss battles that are apparently very enjoyable, that there's not really a whole lot to do. And a common complaint that I'm seeing from a lot of reviews is that the world itself seems very barren, and apparently there's multiple different locations you go to, but with not much to do in them. And I guess there's just not enough to kind of keep you going along without getting bored until you're, really in the next action-packed section of the game. And that is a little bit disappointing to hear, especially as somebody like myself, who I did not play through the first two No More Heroes, and I will be picking up this game just to check it out, but I'm not a hardcore fan of the series by any means. But to hear kind of some of the complaints and issues that do seem to be fairly common at this release, at least at the initial release, like maybe they're going to update and patch some things, but at the end of the day, if the world's barren, it's going to be really hard to fix that unless you're adding in a lot of DLC content or stuff that's added in after in a patch. But I'll be surprised. But the other thing that may need to be kind of addressed is there is apparently a lot of performance issues on this game, and things like dropped frame rates. And we are seeing the Nintendo Switch really show its age, as you guys have probably heard me say on the channel before. I was really holding out hope that the Switch OLED may have been something that had a more powerful chipset in it, but that Tegra X1 keeps chugging along. And some of this may be on the developer front, because we do see games that look graphically more impressive than this. You can even say Breath of the Wild. I mean, just look at that game next to No More Heroes 3. I think you can tell which one kind of clearly wins, and that doesn't have really bad performance issues other than a few specific areas where maybe the frame rate will dip from time to time. But so some of this does fall on development, obviously, but whenever I see things like Switch struggles to run a certain game, I just can't help but think about the fact that Nintendo has not addressed something that they will ultimately need to address in the Switch's life cycle, in my opinion, as I do think now that 4K TVs are predominantly what's being sold, we should have an option to play 4K games docked on something like a Nintendo Switch. But that's just, again, my opinion on that. There is another piece of news that came out alongside of the reviews, and that is Suda51 himself did tweet out and confirm that No More Heroes 3 will be the final installment for the franchise, as he earlier this morning tweeted out the following: "For all fans, here's a special message about our No More Heroes 3 release from Suda51. We sincerely hope you enjoy No More Heroes 3. I hope everyone is getting by okay in the summer heat. There is a brand new, exhilarating action game in which the entire galaxy is thrown into a state of war that will hopefully help to blow away the sweltering heat and humidity, and it's being released on August 27th. This game is called No More Heroes 3 Final Bout All-Out Galactic War, or it was going to be called that, but the subtitle was just too long, and we ended up taking a hint from the Rocky series and simply going with No More Heroes 3 instead. As hinted at with the final thing, Travis Touchdown will finally be coming to an end of his final battle and will be embarking on a much-deserved long journey. Join him as he goes absolutely buck wild in the Garden No Cosmos of Madness. Now, carrying with it 1,000 thoughts, I run along the Thunder Road once more. As one journey's end, the Crimson Bike falls into a deep sleep. Goodbye, Travis. Goodbye, No More Heroes. Goodbye, fleeting moments and days. Farewell to all Travis Touchdowns everywhere." So there you have the official statement from the creator that obviously, this will be closing the book on the story that is No More Heroes, and that there will apparently be no future installments. And I would love to hear from the hardcore No More Heroes fans out there, because I do know it has a hardcore following, how you feel about this, and if you're planning on picking up the game, and if you think that No More Heroes 3 is the send-off that the series deserves. So, I mean, I know there's a lot of conflicting opinions about this. At the end of the day, I personally am excited to actually go pick it up after I film this video, and I will be playing through some of it tonight. So I do hope that, I enjoy it myself, but again, out there at the end of the day, I'm not going into it with the highest expectations now that I've seen a lot lot of different opinions and impressions that are popping up online, but hopefully I will be pleasantly surprised with my playthrough of No More Heroes 3. And then again, please let me know in the comments down below if you're picking this game up, if you've already played some of it, and what your initial thoughts and impressions are. Now from there, we have to talk about Nintendo and them continuing to just hype Metroid Dread, and it's incredible how much footage they've already shown from this game, but also how each trailer and each new piece of information that they do reveal gets me more and more hyped for how deep this story is going to be, how exciting the gameplay looks. And I can tell you guys, this was definitively the most hype and exciting trailer that I have seen so far around Metroid Dread, and like, I personally can't wait. Like, October 8th cannot get here fast enough. I will be super excited to pick up a Switch OLED and have Metroid Dread alongside of it, and I'm pretty sure that I will be playing nothing else until I completely 100% that game, as I just couldn't think more highly of it from everything that we have seen so far. And guys, this new trailer does not disappoint. It shows some very fast action combat portions. It shows new things like the burst missile shot that Samus can basically target up to 5 different enemies and unload a ton of missiles on them all at once. And it does actually show things like utilization of the grapple beam, the speed booster, and just all of the, different upgrades we're gonna eventually unlock along the way. I hope that they're not showing too much, because like at the same time, like, you could almost argue this trailer has some mild spoilers on it, which I will say one thing in case if you guys want to be warned. There is a classic Metroid boss that got a shot in this trailer, so you can click away off the video if you don't want to hear his name right now. But Kraid from Super Metroid, and apparently should be dead from Super Metroid, is now back, or at least maybe it's resurrected. Maybe the Chozo brought him back to life, who knows. Now this like super intelligent Chozo that is apparently warring directly with Samus, I want to know everything, all of the picture that they're painting here. I want to know all of the lore about it. This is again motivating me. I was kind of starting my journey to go through Metroid 1 through 4, and I've only made it through 1, and I started Samus Returns on the 3DS and have not completed that one yet. But this has me fully hyped to go back through and make sure I play through all those games. Now that's where Nintendo comes into the conversation, because Nintendo, if you are going to prop up your 5th installment into such a lifelong classic series like Metroid, we need to have the ability to play all these prior games on the Switch. So please bring those Game Boy's family of systems so everybody can update themselves on the lore and play through those classic Metroid titles. And it's not really too much to ask between now and October 8th, because most Metroid games on average will take, for somebody who really knows what they're doing, maybe 2.5, 3 hours, and really 5 to 6 hours, even if you're just exploring around for the first time and kind of, running around aimlessly. So I do think that it's worth all of these fans to go through and play Metroid 1 through 4, especially whenever you get into like Metroid Fusion, as that just has a ton of lore and story involved in it, and we don't have an easy way to play that right now as Nintendo fans. So I hope Nintendo really delivers those. I would encourage all of you guys that even if you don't get a chance to play through those prior Metroid titles, to at least watch some videos that explain the lore and the story up to that point, because I think Metroid Dread is propping itself up to be, as we know, the series closing for this initial 1 through 5 story arc, and I think it's really going to deliver on some great elements and aspects of what the Metroid universe can deliver. I also definitely think that Nintendo is successfully marketing this game, as at the time of filming this video, this trailer is actually number 15 on gaming trending on YouTube, and it may continue to go up, because when I first checked it, it was number 18. Then I just looked at it again right now, and it's up to number 15 on gaming trending. It's over 400,000 views right now. So I think that fans care about this game, and I think that they love the exposure that Nintendo is giving to the Metroid franchise, and I think this is going to be the one that really breaks Metroid out of that smaller sales conversation like we typically always have to bring up with games like this. And then I think we see Nintendo transition that right into a full-on push and build for Metroid Prime 4, and hopefully somewhere like a February Nintendo Direct, or at least by an E3 Direct of next year, we see some Metroid Prime 4 gameplay. And since fans are re-bought in through the release of Metroid Dread, that same hype and excitement and love for the Metroid universe just transfers over to Prime 4 and to those games. And I think the best way to do that is to, whenever we do get that Prime 4 trailer, follow it up with something like an announcement for Metroid Prime Trilogy to come to the Switch. And there's a lot of rumors and speculation that game is already basically done and waiting, and I do tend to believe those rumors, because I don't think Nintendo's going to put the 4th installment of a massive series like Prime 4, especially considering that they restarted the development and that probably cost them a ton of money. I don't think they're just going to put it out there and not explain any of what happened in the Prime universe up to that point. So as a Metroid fan, it's probably the best time to be alive right now. I am super hyped for this release of Dread, and then hopefully the eventual release of Metroid Prime Trilogy, and ultimately building up to the story arc of what we can expect to see in Metroid Prime 4. But guys, at this point in the video, I want to know all your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about today. Are you hyped for No More Heroes 3? Are you planning on picking it up? And what are your initial opinions of the different reviews that are out there right now? And then the big talking point I want to hear from you guys on is, what did you think of this Metroid Dread trailer? Are you more hyped than ever like I am right now to play through it? Or are you maybe more frustrated with Nintendo that they're not adding Metroid 1 through 4 onto the Nintendo Switch through NSO? So please share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. And then the bonus question is, do you think that we will be getting that Metroid Prime Trilogy eventually released and hyped up on the Nintendo Switch? Thanks so much for watching the video today, everyone. I do truly appreciate you all sticking around until the end. I do at this point in the video want to invite you all one more time to join Sunbro Nation if you haven't done so already. Do so by subscribing below, hit the like button on your way out if you enjoyed it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. That's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you all have a great day. Sunbro Nation, out.